Okay, guys, we're not quite ready to be back yet. You'll notice my compatriot's missing. We're just trying to hunt down the next match. PiLiPiLi versus Drogo? All right, guys, we're going to do PiLiPiLi versus Drogo next. PvP. Let me message PiLiPiLi. Yo. Do you guys host or want us to? I've got no preference in hosting or not. Yo, but guys, I want to show off this cool thing. I got the Corsair booth while we're on break. It's just like, it's just a keycap on top of a light. This is like a switch. It's like you took one key off the keyboard and put it on this thing. I love it because I love Corsair for like, okay, they're a sponsor or whatever, but like I love like that they're obsessed with like RGB stuff. So like every time you press it, it like changes color. It's honestly just nerdy and cool.
That's pretty nifty. That's like the
It's like a new fidget toy.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
I'm just gonna be sitting here clicking it all day. Also, let's see if we can get a slightly better angle of this. I'm glad that we both chose to wear black in a really dark venue.
Yeah, no, that's the best part. It's like
it's working out very well for us.
The black of green screens.
Trying to if I can just Iron Man it up. It just keeps falling down though. Yeah, I'll fiddle with it later.
That would actually be a sweet necklace too if you just got the Iron Man symbol.
All right, looks like we're hosting Ascension first. Okay, hosting now. So again, it's gonna be PvP, PiLiPiLi versus Drogo. Now, for those who don't know, we kind of gave Dave a brief intro earlier. He's a Zerg player primarily, but you've done some casting before, like Kings of the North and stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's,
See, I pay attention.
Good guy, Rifkin.
So I don't think it'll be too uncomfortable casting a PvP. But what's nice, I really like where PvP is right now. It's not boring. Sometimes it can go to ridiculous lengths of that stupid Golden Armada versus Golden Armada.
Yeah.
And even then, it's just like this really intense, like, I don't know, showdown. I can't describe. I really like where PvP's at, basically. I hated when it was all just like Blankstalker versus Blankstalker. Then Disruptors changed that up. And like this matchup's changed a lot, but I've always liked each step it's taken.
Yeah, it feels like with PvP, the better player usually wins, which is a good indicator.
Oh, is Zombie casting now?
Is that?
I think Zomgrub's casting on the mainstream is what people are telling me.
Oh, wow. Of this match in particular?
No, not this. I mean, like, whatever's going on up there, I think she's casting.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Hang on, I can't pull up sound because we don't have sound here. I was going to pull it up and go listen, but I guess I can't do that. It feels bad, man. All right, well, whatever to that. Hopefully you guys can enjoy it and let me know how it went for her.
Little zombies all grown up.
Oh, wait, where's... Drogo. Hey, can you leave so we can invite everyone in here? No third matches can start when Blizzard gives me a go. So we cannot start this lobby, correct? Let me just make sure, guys. Like I said, there's a bit of a schedule that goes on here because they don't want all the matches, like anyone to get ahead too far. Yeah. They also want to have like a backup for the mainstream so there's no downtime over there. And yeah, it looks like we just have to wait. So basically, whoops. I accidentally invited him to a party. Kill me. I'm dying of embarrassment right now. But we cannot go. Sure. We're in Drogo. PiLi, just waiting. Anyone else need in for Drogo versus PiLi? So again, once we have the go-ahead, I guess we'll get rocking and rolling, guys. But it is going to be a PvP. And, yeah, just waiting. Nice Crank in here, too. Crank's at a studio right now, apparently. He's casting with, like, I think a couple of the old Axiom guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wait, I want to log into the BaseTradeTV Twitter tweet.
I miss Axiom. They were awesome. I think you're missing a B on the base trade. Or T, wow.
BaseTradeTV.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Still can't type my password correctly, though. Are you kidding me right now?
Okay. There we go.
I just had the wrong 3 passwords. Nailed it. Yeah. So to a raid bomb it again.
Oh man.
Yeah, we gotta wait. This I gotta tell you, by the way, this is booth in front of us, guys.
Yeah.
It's like this Omen by HP booth. And I went to this thing in Toronto when they had it. It was kind of okay. I'm not gonna try and shit talk or something. It's kind of lame though. What's killing me though is it has a strobe light, so you guys are probably gonna occasionally see this like light flashing on us, and that's what it. In fact, I can just show you guys real quick, because there's like a lot of booths. First off, branding. Secondly, It's that red glowy box there. What they do is they put you in this chair. It moves around. It blows smoke in your face. It's supposed to like simulate what you're playing. What was so funny was we get in there in North by Northeast and they're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be StarCraft 2, and they load up some fucking Facebook Farmville type game. I'm like, you guys don't know what StarCraft 2 is, do you? Like,
Yeah, it's the one where you like you craft things, and you're in a valley. That's Stardew Valley. That's a miss. That's a miss.
I need to invite Caster B, and we can go. Where's Caster B? Back to game. Okay. All right. As soon as Caster B's in here, we'll give them ref as well because that's gonna be main stage people, I guess, just watching backstage, or I don't know how it works.
I love all these new accounts with the Kaczynski portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I rocked the BaseTradeTV one.
Well, of course, you've earned that one.
Cool enough to have our own portrait. Yeah. Caster B needs to take the invite. Caster B, please.
Take the bait.
Do you get your emoticons unlocked too Oh, you do. Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
My Dahaka.
Nice.
Essence.
Dahaka seems to have been a big hit.
Have you played much co-op or anything with him?
I don't play very much co-op, no.
So co-op's my jam. I love co-op, right? And Dahaka is, like, without a doubt, my favorite hero they've released. And if for no other reason, he's got this ability to eat another unit, right? And it instantly kills them, and you get, like, a buff from them.
Nice.
But there's almost no limit to what he can eat. So, like, a level 1 tiny little itty-bitty Dahaka, before he grows big, can consume, like, a full hybrid and, like, instant kill it.
He's hungry.
Ready, everyone? Oh, we should have enhanced some Jon Snow. That would have been sick, too. Actually, go Jon Snow. He just beat you thermal, you know.
Jon Snow just beat you thermal?
Yeah, 2-1 or something. It's really impressive.
That is so impressive. Impressive. I can't even English. And I don't want to anymore.
All right, so we're just waiting on Drogo to ready up, guys. Once he's good to go, I think. Oh wait, PiLiPiLi didn't say ready. It was Caster B that said ready.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well now PiLiPiLi's ready. Just go. Oh, Drogo. Drogo. Drogo's like technically behind us though. Actually, what's great about this though, we kind of were concerned about this, like would people be able to see, and the admins were like, you know what? If we see people turning around constantly to look at your screen, we'll know. Like,
yeah, it'll be pretty obvious. Like you can't really disguise that.
To be clear though, by the way, guys, Drogo's like not directly behind. He's like behind us and then like that way. Like,
yeah.
So I don't think we'll have any problems here. But let's get into game StarCraft 2.
Hype.
And if you guys are just joining us on the broadcast today, hello, it's game number 1. Rifkin Zombie was casting, but our audio is full of echo. What do you mean, like on the main stream, or are you hearing her echo into ours? Because there is a lot of noise here in the venue, and I would hope you guys can't hear her casting for the main stage through our microphones. But it's totally possible, because we didn't get to sound check today, and it feels bad, and I'm stressed all over again with that one little comment. But hey, let's put it behind us, and let's jump into the game, as it is a PvP. I'm Rifkin, of course, joined by Dave, a.k.a. Steadfast, here in this best of 3. Spawning here to the bottom right, we do have, of course, PiLiPiLi.
And spawning up in the top left, we have the red Protoss player, PtitDrogo.
I did swap game scenes, right? Okay, good. That's, you know, I'm somebody who lives with 2 monitors. I can't deal with having just one, and it's, like, constantly making me check. Like, I'm so paranoid that I've left production wrong. Oh, the main stage is full of echo. I guess the audio for the main stage is no bueno. Okay, well, that's unfortunate for them. It sucks because it's Zombie Group's debut, but at the same time, I'm just glad you're not hearing the echo through our mic like I feared you guys were, because we have had a hell of a day.
Yes, yeah. Rifkin really pulled out all the stops to make this happen.
Wait.
Oh, wow. What is... Oh, this is a fake.
Yeah, this isn't a real cannon rush or anything like that.
Oh,
this
he
is
gets him to cancel his second gas, though.
And he steals it. Okay, PiLiPiLi, what a beast. So for those who don't fully understand what just happened there, that wasn't just super awkward, right? The pylon goes down, a cannon would follow, and funny enough, cannon rushes have become somewhat standard in the matchup. Not common, but standard. So people do them, people win with them. Big math, big mains, you would expect this. And this screwed up Drogo's economy. We see this right here. This huge dip is him pulling his probes. Put this in numbers, guys. That's like 100 minerals-ish averaged over that small pull that PiLiPiLi now has over Drogo. He took his gas as well, so Drogo can't mine off 2 gases. That means PiLiPiLi has no fear of a Dark Shrine, no fast Stargate. PiLiPiLi has done so much in this opening with 1 probe. It's amazing.
He really has, and I feel like that's PiLiPiLi in a nutshell, is he does things with units that you don't expect are possible. And I wanna point something out. I don't know if this is why he did this, but there was a game that PtitDrogo I saw played recently where it was him versus Tesla, and Tesla actually did cannon rush him and committed to it. So maybe PiLiPiLi saw that and said, I'm gonna try and fake him out.
You know what? That's a totally viable thing, and I'm not gonna try and like discredit what you just said at all. But I do want to also point out PiLiPiLi's also a fucking mad genius.
He really is.
Totally could have done this on his own as well.
Yep.
But this has been a big problem because not only has this distracted, delayed gases, etc., he's had to constantly pull 3. He had 3 probes off mining. So even though they're on a similar probe count, guys, look how much PiLiPiLi's pulling ahead. This is an average per minute. So this is like an extra gateway. This is soon to be like that extra nexus. You suddenly have base ahead. Like, Drogo has lost so much in this opening. Not to be game devastating, and I don't think he's going to lose right as a direct cause and effect, but he is behind because of it. And now the question really is, what do you do to get back in that game?
And the thing is, he's behind in tech substantially too, and it's...
Oh yeah, Robo coming down for PtitDrogo, meanwhile just like getting gateways. I do like the idea of the adepts though, right? Because the logic here is, okay, you lost a little bit of economy due to all of this, so maybe you kill a couple of probes, even out the economy, you know, but it's still hard to say with an overcharged Stalkers on top of it. I don't think there's any wiggle room here for Drogo, and he's forced to go for this all-in. Setting up now for the gateway. Warp-ins are coming, and that's why we don't see any tech, Dave. It's just going to be all-in.
It is, and it's going to be 4 gateways right here. Oh, man.
Okay, this is really alarming. Because PiLiPiLi's going to have Immortals, which can normally take on small attacks through Warp-ins. But this isn't going to be a small attack through Warp-In.
Look at that pop out on the Stalker.
Yeah.
That was good timing.
That was good timing. It still lost 3 probes. Good timing nonetheless. I like this pylon on the front. I love this pylon on the front. I love the Immortals that are coming in because this all-in out of Drogo is going to hit hard. PiLi's going to eventually be able to match it. But initially, Drogo's supposed to get in here and do some serious damage. Cancel that Nexus, get ahead, kill the Nexus even, and we'll see what he can do. But I really feel like his options are so very limited. And one of the things he saw with that Adept Warp-in was the Robo. So this may have changed up. He may have been thinking Stalkers the whole time. Now he's going to Depths because he doesn't want the Immortal to wreck him.
Yes, oh man. I would love to, if PiLiPiLi can recognize this, see him throw down a second pylon at the main, and be prepared to block those.
Good.
Oh, nicely done.
Overcharge takes care of the first Adept. He's got more where that came from. His own Adept's coming out too, and he takes care of the Stalkers on the front. Now Drogo's behind an entire base, and all of this is butterfly affected off of that one probe in the early game.
And this is not. Oh, he does get the probe there, so that's a bit of a mental victory, but he's pretty far behind right now.
Well, this is the problem, right? He's up 5 workers, but not only does PiLiPiLi have a natural base over him, he's got 2 Chronos working for him too.
Yes.
And with a Warp Prism on the way, he'll probably be the one to turn on the Assault next. And Drogo, frankly, he doesn't have any army units. He could be up 15 probes. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to fight with it. Oh, these sentries are hoping to God nobody finds them. They're so expensive to lose on this side of the map. New Warp-ins coming. He wants to keep the pressure on with the Adepts. He wants to keep PiLiPiLi at home as long as humanly possible, but I don't think that's going to keep him home for very long.
He does kind of slip past the army, though, and this is actually could do quite a bit of damage, already killing 2-3 probes. That's pretty nice.
You know what? Sentry damage is pretty garbage, but in this one instance, they worked out really well.
Yeah, they did. If he didn't have those there, he would have lost probably another 3 probes or so.
Well, this is still the problem for me, where I don't really bat an eye at this yet. PiLi's army is so good, it's up almost over triple the supply, and it's the type of supply, too. There's Immortals, there's Sentries. This is going to, unless Drogo has, I don't know what he has up his sleeve to make this work. Does he even have a Mothership Core? He does at least have that.
The thing is, PiLiPiLi can just kind of wait out the overcharges.
Well, not only that,
he would need to lose a fully loaded Warp Prism, I think, for there to be much of a chance.
This right here is what I was going to get into. Sorry, I wanted to not cut you off, but the Warp-in potential here is one thing. The pickup micro is another. And when it's mostly units and projectiles, as we see, picks up, doesn't care about the overcharge, saves every single unit. He's so good, Dave.
And he baited out 3 force fields and the overcharge.
Oh, there's no energy left on these sentries at all. There's not going to be a Guardian Shield or anything.
He's more than double.
Guardian Shield 2. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but this looks like it's already been game. There's the GG, and PiLiPiLi takes map number 1.
PiLiPiLi's PvP is just something special.
Yeah, just checking chat here. I hope everything's okay, guys. Again, sorry, we're kind of having a hard time monitoring. But, man, like, that probe mind game shit was insane.
Oh, my God, that was so cool. That was honestly so cool, and such a smart player to do that against.
Yeah, you know, Drogo, I feel like, is not somebody who is tilted in the way an average player is, but, you know, we watched him take a pretty annoying loss before he had to get to the series even. It comes up against PiLiPiLi doing cheeky stuff like this. I don't think he goes into game 2 here with a very cool mindset. I would hope he does it because I like Drogo. I want to see a lot of Drogo, but that was a good way. That was not just a win to get ahead in the series. It was a good way to get ahead in the series.
Yes, it was. He got ahead 1-0 in the score, and he got ahead 50-0 in the mental game.
All right, meanwhile, I'm just going to start inviting all the other casters, guys, so give us a sec here. I know we need caster B. And I can't remember who. Crank was here, I think. Oh, he's in the game. Okay, he's good. Oh, Gaming's here.
One more. It was another.
Ariba.
Yep, that was it.
I hope Ariba is like the Spanish caster. This is, I always think of Speedy Gonzalez, right? Like,
yeah,
Ariba.
I would be very disappointed if he wasn't, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I know, like, by the way, too, guys, like, Speedy Gonzalez was not exactly the most PC character to ever exist,
yeah.
but, you know, you grew up with him. He's a funny little mouse guy, whatever.
We have Marth. Who was that?
I don't know.
They weren't in it last time, I don't think.
Yeah, they might have just been, like, another casting group coming in. But looks like they're ready. Let's hop into it. Game number 2 going down on Odyssey. You know what's sad? I did bring all my map intros with me, by the way, guys, but we had so many issues. I just don't want to risk more by playing them. So maybe after we get a bit of break time and I can fiddle. But for now, you know, just hop right into these games. Of course, Odyssey going to be the next one. Ariba is apparently the Norwegian caster, so I was really off.
Oh, huh.
Could Rifkin be for PiLi? I don't think so. PiLi was playing that game so sick, and if you guys can't respect that, I don't know what's wrong with you. You don't like quality StarCraft.
I'll just own it. I am. After that, yeah, absolutely.
I'm like hashtag Team PiLi, but
yeah,
PiLi 1-0. All right, so game 2 kicks off. Spawning here in the bottom right, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be the French, and the real French, not the Quebec French, Protoss player, PtitDrogo.
And spawning up in the top left position with the most MVP probe you've ever seen, it is PiLiPiLi.
How sick would it be if he actually cannon rushed this game?
Oh my god. He cannon rushes in front of him, just shows it to him, and then just does an actual cannon rush and ends the game.
Yo, my favorite mind game PvP, and I'm going to say mind game here very lightly, was Crank versus Huck back when King Sage Young Station was around. Both of them were still playing StarCraft full time. And Huck had got really notorious for not scouting at the time, so Crank just went proxy gatewayed him right on the ramp.
Oh
like, 1 pylon, 2 gateways. And Huck, of course, lost to this,
yeah.
But it was like the greatest, like, I read exactly what you do and how you play moment. And for PiLi, I feel like that was a little bit of game number 1. A little bit went into that. Maybe a little bit of luck, too, but regardless, Drogo played right into his hands. And I don't think I've ever seen such a... Normally when you see early game harass, a couple probes add to adepts here and there. Like, it doesn't actually affect the rest of the game. What PiLi did was just so early that there was no way that wasn't going to have ripple effects on everything else. So while we are sitting here singing him praises and saying good job, we'll see how he plays now with a much more normal game.
I want to go a little bit more in depth on why that was so effective too. With the harassment from that and the lost mining time, normally we see what we're seeing right now, which is both players open up double gateway. They're able to either chrono out 2 adepts or 2 stalkers in this PvP.
Yeah.
What actually happened though is with that scouting and with that harassment and lost mining time, he only went for the 1 gateway and just pure stalker production. And so he got a much faster robotics facility. So the all-in that we were expecting from PtitDrogo, there was already an Immortal out, and I don't think PtitDrogo expected it to be that fast. But because of that, it was, and it really kind of...
well, at that point, he had already thrown the gateway down too, right? Like, he had foregone his tech.
Yeah.
He had no choice but to commit. So
exactly.
The thing is, Drogo played that out as best as he could. Just clearly, the situation didn't dictate it being good enough. PiLi's going to stick with the Robo, though, since you bring it up, and I'm not sure if this will be for Fast Warp Prism, or maybe he's thinking the exact same thing as last game, follow up with the Immortals, go for a push with Sentries. But for me, I look at PvP. PiLi's obviously saving up for... Oh, I thought he was going to save up for a natural, but he spent his money, so maybe never mind. But PvP and its naturals, I think, are one of the weirdest dynamics in the game. Like ZVZ, if you scout a natural, like a 3rd base or like a 4th base, you can try and match it, but you don't always have to because you know that Lings can surround and run-bys can kill. But in PvP, it's like a rule. If one guy goes for an expansion, the other has to match that. So Last game we saw that obviously try to happen, not quite the case. When it goes to 3 bases, that's obviously like a lot more evident. But right now, both of them are playing about as standard as you can. Slight difference being the Robo versus the Gateway commitments.
Yeah, and we do see 2 sentries coming out from Drogo as well. PiLiPiLi kind of cut Gateway production a little bit. He only got those 2 Stalkers. Meanwhile, Drogo went up to 4 Stalkers and is grabbing those double sentries. But with the Immortal coming out once again from PiLiPiLi, I think he's going to be fine against this 4 Stalker pressure.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is 4 Stalkers can be a nuisance. That's just enough to one-shot probes. You get to the mineral line. But an Immortal says no. An Immortal says stay back. And even if you don't have the Immortal's barrier up, you can still take these fights. It just deals so much damage to armored units. Mothership Core with an overcharge. I don't think he'll have any problem keeping this push back. And I love that he didn't reveal the Immortal in doing this.
That's actually quite genius. He's not going to reveal it until, I think...
Until he has to.
Until he has to, or until PtitDrogo dives. If he dives hard, all of a sudden there could be just an Immortal in his face, and he just loses 2 Stalkers.
You know, it's a shame the Warp Prism's not out, though, because the Warp Prism would help micro around a lot of this. Mothership Core almost goes down, tries to catch a Stalker. Not quite. Both players going to disengage, and PiLi has successfully not revealed what tech he went for. No Warp Prism shown, no Immortal. As far as Drogo is concerned, there's 3 Oracles gaining power in the corner of the map, waiting to go to his mineral line. I think that's part of why he warped the Sentries home defensively at first. But he's going to follow this up with Blink. Blink can be a good tool, but Immortals don't care about Blink.
And they don't, but he doesn't know there's Immortals. And also important to note,
yeah, he's scouting, by the way. He has to look.
It could be DTs. He has no idea.
Well,
he is going to see this move out across the map, and he knows now, but he's already elected to go for that Blink for those additional gateways.
Last game was really one-sided. I think this time Drogo has a much better chance to hold. Don't get baited with the force fields, his own overcharges on the front lines. If he force fields the Immortal into the overcharges, that advantage is gone. But it's actually PiLi who gets the good force fields, and he catches the Adepts of the Stalker of Drogo.
That was actually some beautiful force fields right there. We do see the overcharges are going to work, so I think PiLiPiLi needs to be a little bit more patient right now.
Overcharge is good. This is still tight, though. Drogo, he's got an army supply, but it's not enough to bully and push this back. Because on Immortal, that evens out the playing field, but as these Adepts slip in, these overcharges were in the natural. Nothing for the main but 1 Adept. Even if the overcharges get popped here, that might give way for these guys to push in. More Adepts looking to get in. They get trapped by the force fields. Overcharge, man, how does that, what? The range on that, the duration of it was still going from earlier. I didn't even realize.
That was really long.
But the Adepts in the main still have taken forever to get cleaned up. These didn't kill a lot of probes, but this took all of Drogo's attention away from the front line. And PiLi with a little bit of Warp Prism Micro, a little bit of aggression, he's pushing his way in. He's still only up a couple supply, though. This is not really determinative of who's going to win this fight yet, but there's no overcharges left for Drogo.
The big advantage right here is that Warp Prism, but with the second Immortal popping out, we do see PtitDrogo hold, and he's got to be sighing a huge sigh of relief.
Well, he's not out of the woods just yet. He chases forward. He's starting to get a little bit outclassed by the Warp Prism Micro. I mean, all these units are seriously at 1 health. PiLi's pickup micro is insane, but of course, as we said earlier, Immortals don't care about that. They don't projectiles. They're instantly connecting.
Yes, they are. And yeah, we do see finally a big hold coming out. And nice little...
Ooh, this guy might actually catch one of those Immortals, but PiLi's also misrallied, so it could hurt him and cost him. Mothership Core's on the wrong side, so recall's not an option. Oh, loses the Mothership Core full of energy.
Yeah, that one hurt quite a bit. Actually, if he just moved the Immortal, he probably would have killed both Stalkers, I think.
You know what? Right now, on top of this, those Immortals have their barriers back. PiLi's got no Mothership Core, just died. No defense at home as he's bringing that Warp Prism across the map. Now he's coming home, running for his life, realizing he's actually in grave danger.
And he's down 12 probes too, so Drogo doesn't even have to commit to this.
Yeah, Drogo's taking that third. If this base finishes, it could seal the deal for PiLi before the army even does.
Yeah, exactly. This is just a really significant...
Oh, he's got Blinking it up to the main. A bit risky to do so, but luckily Adepts will not melt down Stalkers.
Yeah, the movement speed on those Adepts isn't going to be quite enough. He'll probably lose... Oh, doesn't even lose a single Stalker.
Good control out of Drogo. You know, it's been really easy to watch the flashy, cool things PiLi's done, but it does come down so much more to that macro. Drogo, you should bust the pylon so there's no more overcharges on the front line. Of course, that third base is going to matter the most out of anything here. As these 2 trade blows, I'm still favoring Drogo no matter how this goes. And he can always recall out if he needs to. Right? He might just do that here.
Yeah, that was definitely the right call. Did pick off the Warp Prism there. That was kind of nice.
That's good because now there's no immediate counterattack path. But also, a cool thing he did, PiLiPiLi last moment that we saw him try and target fire the Immortal, but the Warp out like just in time to save it because this Immortal was like 1 shot from dead.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty big deal because I think PiLi does have to all in right now. I think his probe count is too far behind. And he just doesn't have much of a choice.
I'm so glad we don't have cameras on right now. I was just making very lewd gestures of tempo.
It's romance.
It's bromance.
Can't deny bromance. And,
You know, tempo used to be white when he was younger.
Wow.
This is a real fact. You brought it up in an IRL stream.
That's pretty nifty.
It's super definitely real and not a joke.
That's a real thing and for sure not a meme.
I'm actually glad to see Tempo here too. I know this kid has the worst time getting out to events, and he's always late and he's always missing his planes and his flights. So good to see him get here safe and sound. But as much as I love Tempo, of course, these guys playing also deserve our love. And where Drogo's taking this next, I really like. Whether this is for Storms or whether this is for Archons, again, not going to matter so much as this third base will.
Yes. Yeah, he's just going to be able to outproduce his opponent. I think it's going to be for those Archons. It's just so good against the Adepts. And we can see right now PiLiPiLi is going very heavy on the Adepts. He is starting up Resonating Glaives. That's pretty late.
This is weird, like,
oh,
ooh,
wow.
nice snipe on the Warp
Wow.
Prism. Amazing snipe on the Warp Prism, actually. Because PiLi was moving out as we saw, and he's going to, Drogo's going to sacrifice these Stalkers to get some more probes on the way.
Game.
Oh, a bit of a pause, bit of a lag. Uh-oh. Yeah, it is worth noting really quick, guys. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be anyone's fault for this. This part of the venue was lagging earlier, and this is where they've stationed us, actually.
Yeah.
And they had to reset connections for it. I see no drop frames, though, so I think the connection's solid, but Drogo may be feeling a bit of a spike there.
Oh, okay.
Caster B is referee. I hope they know.
Yeah, me too. I hope they're paying attention.
We can always try and send someone backstage if they, because the problem is, yeah, the way WCS guys use this is they kind of just put this up on the second screen, so they got something to watch, something to look at.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yo, les referees.
Okay, there we go. He's back.
And, oh, there's the unpause. And we do see nice surround from the probes. Does force the blink away. But pulling this attack back is so huge.
Yeah, you know, I was surprised that it brought the army back, but I
Yeah.
was more astonished that it caught the Warp Prism because that delays the attack. PiLi doesn't want to move until that Warp Prism's good to go because he's so gateway dependent. Now, funny enough, this will actually make his Resonating Glaives time out a lot better.
Yes, yeah. So it's not the end of the world, but it does put you in an uncomfortable state of mind. That mental game, I do think it plays a big role, and I think it's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Catches a couple Stalkers, but the rest do blink away.
I want to get back to that daisy chain effect of what's kind of cool happening here, composition wise, right? Zealots will get beaten out by the Adepts. The Adepts will get beaten out by the Immortals, and or by the Archons, excuse me. And then it just comes down primarily to the Archons and Immortals versus just Immortals, and that's where I really fear for PiLiPiLi. His best thing he possibly could have going for him is actually just shading past the army and catching Drogo off guard within his mineral lines. Like, fake out a commitment, fake out a fight, but send, like, 4 Adepts to the main, 4 to the natural type thing.
Because oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to finish saying I don't think he can take a fight. I really don't.
It's going to be really tough. Even without those Archons, it'd be tough. But with those additional Archons, that's so much DPS versus bio. We do see the fight. Oh, looks like the army's getting caught a little bit from PiLi.
Time
nice
Warp
time
for the
warp.
first time in the universe is going to be really effective as it catches PiLi's army.
We do have one Immortal getting force fielded off, but losing the entire army on the other side.
The Archons are too good. Zealots now have charge 2, which we're missing initially. Drogo will tie up this series, bringing us now to a 1-1.
I'm honestly, I'm really glad this is going to Game 3. Not because I'm rooting for PtitDrogo necessarily, but because you never want to see a player go out from tilt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I was saying, though. I'm not convinced Drogo was necessarily tilted. Drogo is a guy who can lose his temper easily, and I think he's a player who can get tilted. But we've cast enough games of him, and we've seen his reactions to so many things where I think he's a guy who will be emotional in a moment, but I don't think it'll follow him to the next game type thing.
Yes, and I'm glad. I'm glad that that's the case.
By the way, I really like that both these guys are right next to each other on the alphabetical order list.
Oh, man, that's so convenient. Underrated right there.
Caster B's still in the game. We gotta wait for them. Who's Caster B backstage? We gotta have some words with him.
It's
Pay attention to the game.
gonna get you guys to tweet out at Caster B. Just
Yeah, that
Let 'em
classic Twitter handle at Caster B.
at Caster B.
All right. I know we need a Reba was another one. I think the Finnish caster or someone said Norwegian
Marth
maybe.
was in there as well. Not sure if that was someone actually needed.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. So before we get going, guys. Okay. Just making sure.
Meanwhile, shout out to Puck. Just 2-0'd Rickard Mechanics Bergman.
Really? Is that was on the main stage? Is that what was making us? Or?
I don't know if that was on the main stage, but I saw it over his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
And it was as he was finishing up game 2. He said it was the best series he's played all year, Puck did. So happy to see him doing well. He's always been a very, very high potential player. There's so many storylines at DreamHacks that kind of get swept under the rug just because of the sheer amount of games.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm glad WCS started embracing a lot more of the community. Because before,
Yes.
like, don't get me wrong, it's nice when it's just like 4 of us, but it was like me, Wardy, maybe 2 other guys, Take TV, right? Now they've got like reaching out across to Norwegian casters.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, certainly if you miss the games, at least there's going to be VODs of them out there.
Yes, and even if you can't understand necessarily the other languages, you can still watch them. You can still enjoy the games. You can just commentate it yourself, like, oh, this guy's going for a thing.
I'm so sad, guys. So many of my friends are just standing right outside the area. Can't go say hi. But yeah, we're just waiting on Caster B to join us, and I think we'll be Gucci, guys. So stick with us while we wait this out. No, Caster B is not coming. You know, Stajo, whip these guys. I don't see Stajo here to actually whip them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Again, thank you for joining us, and thanks, Dave, for joining me. If you guys are liking Dave, your Twitter is, I think, at SteadfastSC2. Am I right?
That's correct.
I did tag him in one of the tweets earlier, but I know Riamar was asking before to show underwear or I'll unsub. How about you show your underwear and stay subbed?
Not
you.
Yeah. I will do both of those things.
Caster B!
At this point, he's on the verge of being Casturb.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on back there. They might be swapping up who's casting, like the main stage, and whoever was Caster B might be doing that now. But yo, Caster B, come on. Like 8 times invited.
Maybe they're just salty about not being Caster A.
I don't think that's the case.
Or Castera, as I like to call them.
If anyone is backstage, can you please poke Caster B or let us know if we can go without them.
And this is going to be the decider match, decider map.
Yeah. I'm hoping if someone's on Caster A or Caster C, they can just poke over as Caster B.
Yeah.
But again, I'm guessing they're probably swapping around who's doing what, who's casting the main stage. So probably part of the delay. But okay, cool. That took a million years. Finally here. Let's get going. Let's do this thing. Everyone ready? All right, PiLiPiLi's ready to go. Drogo's ready to go. Let's get this game started. Ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping into Interloper for map number 3, and of course the deciding match in this. Now, I don't actually have the brackets. I don't know how much weight is on the line for this. If this is like a finals match, a losers match, a winners match, like it's just another match to us.
I think this, I may be wrong about this, this could just be the losers match, but I'm pretty sure this is the match to decide who gets into the money. So at the very least,
Oh yeah, this plays to like top 32
top
or something,
32, and it's actually pretty good. $1,000 for top 32.
Man, I need to get like halfway decent at StarCraft.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
I gotta get out of Bronze League, get that money. I would actually love that. You know, if I was like a casual semi-pro, I would totally come here and like maybe play my games as best I could, and then just go cast afterwards. That would be a lot of fun.
That would be awesome.
But unfortunately, dragging around equipment is not fun and awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, it's game number 3. Sorry, swap players back. In the bottom right, we've got spawning blue. It's PiLiPiLi.
And bringing things back in the last game, spawning up in the top left, we have PtitDrogo.
Oh, we got another Protoss kind of nearby. As we got Mana, I guess, doing an interview. Can't really show you guys, of course, but standing off to our side. So we are fully on Protoss mode right now.
PvP. We even have a bit of an old shout-out, Huck, is back in the player area.
Oh yeah, I know he was looking around earlier. I got to catch him on my way in.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though because we ran the Summit event, the September Summit, King of the Hill thing right before we came here, me and Wardy, and we couldn't get any Protoss. Literally 100% of the Protoss that were available in Europe were flying out here, so no Mana, no Drogo, no nothing. So it was all TVZs, TVTs, and ZVZs. It was a lot of fun. It was good games, but I was like, man, I never missed Protoss so much, and now all we can do is get Protoss.
No kidding. That was like the Starship Troopers.
Oh, that's a good callback.
Yeah.
That's like forever ago.
Yeah.
I will say, Starship Troopers, for whatever, some people loved it, some people hated it. Not the tournament, but I mean the actual show.
Yeah.
What are we oohing at?
Oh, we're oohing at PiLiPiLi just accidentally grabbed all of his probes and pulled them to the mineral line.
I didn't catch that. I was too busy getting hyped about Starship Troopers. We'll just go ahead and embarrass him real quick.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, that does hurt. But I was going to say, the music for that, for me, will never die. That dun, 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 dun. Like, StarCraft has some pretty okay music. And there was a time in Heart of the Swarm where they actually had this, like, really epic music background set. But now it's just become this, like, somber, kind of boring stuff. I want some, like, Starship Troopers or, like, the StarCraft HOTS Vengeance trailer. Like, that kind of music, I think would be so sick.
It was, yeah. Nothing is better than a really great soundtrack for a movie. A soundtrack can make or break a movie all the time. Or a video game.
Nermoth says, special versus answer on the main stage, but I want to hear Rifkin 2. What to do? Well, you know the VODs are always going to be available here, dude, and while I'm having a great time casting with Dave, don't let me stop you from going to that main stage. Plus, I don't know when or what matches Zombie Group's casting, but be sure to give her some support and love by watching her out there, too.
The obvious solution there is just to mute the main stage stream and listen to Rifkin and myself and just imagine that they somehow match up.
Or, like, separate your speaker sound so one stream goes to your left ear, one goes to your right ear, and it'll be really confusing, but you'll hear both things.
Yeah. It's, that's some advanced next level stuff right there.
Of course, by the way, I know probably everyone who's watching is like, the only people who are tuning into us starting 2.5 hours late are the people who are like subbed and dedicated to the channel. But I do want to just quickly reminder and shout out to the fact that it is officially September. Anyone who hasn't been subbed to the channel in 32 days, so it doesn't have to be your very first time to the channel, but if you haven't been subbed for any time ever or 32 days, you get a 50% off on your first sub.
Oh, wow.
I don't think we're going to be raking in the cash, but I would be very happy if we made a couple new subscribers today.
That's a pretty solid deal. I'm definitely gonna have to sub that.
Ooh. Oh yeah, do you not actually know about September? Any
no.
channel on Twitch, by the way. This isn't like a promotion for us.
Okay.
Any channel on Twitch you haven't been subbed to for prior 32 days, so again, this could be your first time ever, or you just haven't subbed in a long time, half off. But the best part of it is the broadcaster still gets the full value.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome.
It's the best. It's a great initiative from Twitch,
Yeah.
really. But okay, we got the stalker poke coming out of Drogo. PiLiPiLi, I don't think should be sweating this too hard. I really like that he's playing back with the stalkers. He's got the overcharge to rely on. Drogo can't possibly push through this without taking heavy damage. So both players take a bit of damage, both players disengage. This was handled well on both sides. But for Pili, he really had to keep Drogo from getting in there to discover what was happening. And Drogo, by the way, will not be without detection, but it doesn't make Dark Templar any easier to deal with, because if you don't respond right away, boom, that's like 12 probes dead.
Yeah, and I want to draw attention. Now, it's not going to work out because PtitDrogo did get that detection, but I want to draw notice to what PiLiPiLi did. So by hiding the Immortal in the previous game and not displaying that, this build could just be another Immortal build. So there's no way of knowing that this is DTs.
Yeah, there's no way to actually catch that. That's a good point. I kind of forgot that he hit that so well, but while Stalker's baited some stuff on the front lines, unfortunately, I don't know if he's realized there's an observer. He may have seen the blur. Yeah, I think he did, and that's why he's falling back.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
This still isn't so bad, though. Like, let's say he even gets as far as denied to elevator these up to the high ground. DTs can still become the Archons, and Archons early on in a PvP can be really good. Stalkers, unless you have like 12 of them, are not taking down an Archon anytime soon.
Yeah, seriously. Plus, the ability to break those force fields is super useful in the early game fights, because force fields are actually very important at holding off early attacks.
It's funny you say that, because I feel like more of the PvPs I've cast, we've seen Archons breaking their own force fields more than, like, you know, the enemies. And it's a little bit awkward, because you're like, well, shit, I guess, oops.
Yeah. We are going to see the Warp Prism drop a couple of these DTs in. This is kind of funny. Oh, wow, the overcharge actually, he does have the observer there. So the Pylon defends against 2 DTs successfully.
This is still a for now scenario, though, because it is worth noting these DTs don't necessarily fall off at any point in the game. At any time that Drogo doesn't have defense ready to go immediately, those unload and those kill a lot very quickly. Now, granted, Drogo could eventually turn this into some sort of insane base trade, and maybe we see that DTs not be as big of a deal for killing workers. But if it is just assumed to be a macro game, you really can't let your guard down and let any of those die. And that's the beauty of PiLiPiLi. I think the threat of that Warp Prism not having gotten killed, the threat of the DTs possibly being around, Drogo can't really freely move across on the map like this. In fact, the fact that he's doing it is quite dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. He did have the Warp Prism, or sorry, the Observer tracking the Warp Prism of PiLiPiLi. But now he's moving out with a pretty large gateway force. And
so the only reason I really don't like this, he's got no Warp Prism of his own currently. It's on the way. No Mothership Core for a recall. If he gets caught here, he's stuck literally between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, he is. And
I'm surprised PiLi didn't commit seeing that, by the way, but I guess he's just really feeling sore about his army. Nice pickup, though, on the Warp Prism.
Yeah, that is a really nice pickup. Keeping that alive. And PiLiPiLi's kind of been doing this all series. Really nice Warp Prism control.
I didn't realize when you think about it, a Warp Prism with this kind of micro is kind of like a PDD with unlimited energy, if done correctly.
Yeah.
But of course, the Archon can certainly soak a hit, so he doesn't mind that being on the front line. He might catch two of Drogo's straggling Stalkers, but they blink away. So walking away from the Immortals, I guess nobody really wants to fight here. It's a bit of a weird commitment on both sides. In and out, Warp Prism coming in. It's worth noting, PiLi does have the army supply lead. So going into this, maybe that's why Drogo decided to recall. Saves his whole army, gives him time to catch up. He's going for his own Dark Shrine, but I really don't know if this is for DTs or not. Because part of me says like he just needs Archons, and he doesn't have the gas count to go High Templar for it.
Yeah, this and PiLiPiLi really favors this adept-heavy composition. I think that might have actually been a game-saving recall because he was getting backed up into a corner very, very tightly, and there wouldn't have been much maneuverability for Blink Stalkers. And PiLiPiLi just plays PvP in such a unique way.
And it's cool because we got to see a couple different aspects of it, right? Like the mind games to the just hiding and protect. Now he's gone for this bulldog frontal force. I don't even know how to describe it. Just like going all in here with the attack though. Warp Prism's a little bit late to the party. Maybe get some Warpins in. Both players holding even on the supply count. But what's problematic for PiLiPiLi is I don't believe he has detection. So these DTs out of Drogo will eventually clean up the entire army. Whether it's slow, whether it's fast, it will still eventually clean it up.
Yeah, but if he loses his main army in the meantime, there just won't be enough DPS on those DTs.
I mean, they're taking forever to just shoot through the shields, that barrier of the Immortals. They're finally starting to go down. But PiLi is got to do a little bit more damage. He's running away from the DTs. Like I said, hit and run does kind of work here. They're melee units after all, but he's not touched the probe line. Drogo's actually got a pretty surprising bank, too. Like, I think Drogo's okay, all things considered.
Yeah, this is actually...
Well, okay, actually, the Adept's transferred up here. So
oh,
but on the other side of the map, yeah, DTs get in. No detection yet. The Observer finally comes out. Overcharge hits, but both players have lost a substantial amount of workers. Granted, Drogo significantly more.
Oh man, Drogo's in a ton of trouble right now. Even phases into the natural, but there's so many more probes.
Okay, so both players have very little army supply.
He's on the other side of the map. He's down to single-digit workers right now.
Yeah, this is actually... You know what, this was maybe recoverable if he had done a little bit more damage, but he didn't quite get to fully even this out. Both players had started killing a lot of workers, but as we can see, Drogo left with not much.
Oh man, this hurts too, because this got so chaotic so quickly.
The trade and the income too, as soon as his probes went down, Jesus. And PiLi's not done yet. You know, he shuffles the Warp Prism across the map, already has Adepts. He could just warp in more.
And this is kind of the beauty of the style that he chooses to go for. Even if he doesn't necessarily massacre the fight or end the game, having those Adepts, he just Cyanic transfers them through. And we see PiLiPiLi goes through 2-1.
That was a really good play to show for sure. And an emotional loss for Drogo, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's rough going home.
Was that an elimination match?
I think it was, yeah, because it was definitely either the losers match or the...
Some emotions, of course, running strong with such a big event on the line.
Yeah, and he traveled all the way out here for that.
Wait, take a picture again. We got to pose. We're so cool, dude.
Oh my God, we're the coolest.
Anyways, we're going to get into another series. We're trying to figure out what we're going to be doing next. We don't know what's happening. I know that, I guess, Zombie apparently is casting the main stage again, so I might even just take a break to go watch it, guys. I haven't got to see her cast yet. I think someone said she's doing with Maynard, which I love both of those people.
Awesome.
But I'm going to play with my light. We're going to figure out what's going on. So thank you guys for sitting around. Don't go anywhere. If I guess we're trying to figure out what we're doing next, but we may have to just wait for a little bit. So
most likely, because I think they're probably going to be wrapping up group stage.
That's what I think. So
soon.
We'll confirm in a moment, guys. We're just going to leave this on like mute so that you can leave this open in the background safely and not worry about missing anything. Oh yeah, let's see if we missed anyone. Twitch alerts. But yeah, before we go, we'll do some quick shout-outs, and then yeah, we'll just mute this so you guys can just leave the stream open, and when you hear sound, you'll know that we're back, and we'll only come back when a game's ready to go. So a bunch of people hitting the follow button, which is nice. Thank you guys, of course, if you haven't hit follow, because it is free. But Riamar, thank you for the bits, dude. Bitty bits 500s. Empty OOIs was also a new sub, but I know you've been around here before, man. Thank you for taking advantage of that September 50% off deal and joining us back here on the channel. HJ Palfa, or HJP Alpha, which new sub, but a tier 3 sub? What? We have like no tier 3 subs, by the way. This is so sick. So thank you for that tier 3 sub, dude. Of course, subs 50% off. Guys, apply to those as well. But we're going to go to that break, as we said. So we'll be back in a little bit. Dave, Rifkin, Rifkin. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Akarasi, as well, for the pose. Yes! And I missed Ailing just now resubbing for 31 months. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a bit. All right, guys, quick small change of plans here. Drogo's actually going to hop on with us. Tempo is totally happy to just mingle, actually. He was kind of doing me a favor by popping over. But we'll have to adjust sound stuff here. So do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind just speaking for a second here.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello?
Okay, actually, that should be
I
fine.
can only hear in the right here. Is that normal?
No, but unfortunately, due to the problems from today, it is.
All right.
So to get you up to date really quick, we had everything set up perfectly. And then my sound card short-circuited, and I had to buy a new one. So this is, like, brand new.
Oh.
And I haven't had time to properly configure it. So, anyways, this will be kind of cool because Drogo actually, it just kind of sauntered over. He's like, hey, if you guys are casting some Protoss, can I get in on that? And
Yep.
Namshar and Hearthstone, perfect first match. Do you know much about their tournament history, by the way, through DreamHack specifically?
Not really. I don't think they played that much.
So they actually have. And Namshar has knocked Hearthstone either down to the loser's bracket or out of DreamHack multiple times.
Oh, not up to date. With my Namshar lore.
I know, right? Because Namshar's like, I love the guy, but he's not like a big name. He's not like on the top of your list of people you're looking for. So he kind of does slip under a lot of people's radar. And I think Hearthstone, I love Hearthstone, but this is going to be a hell of a match for him.
Yeah, I would even maybe say that Namshar is a bit favored right now.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Do you want Drogo or PtitDrogo?
Both are fine, really.
I'm just going to leave Drogo then.
Yeah.
All right, and then, of course, for everyone who's watching, I know I actually just spoke with Hearthstone, so he wasn't sure when they could start, so he's got to get online. I think he went to go look for Namshar. So I'm hoping this won't take too long, but yeah, you guys are wondering like about the main stage. They said we could just go ahead and get started Group 3. It's the last group stage of the day, and it's getting a little bit late here in Montreal, so I don't think they want to drag it out too long. As far as, because I know someone asked us, we're on break. I don't see who it was, sorry. I'm actually not going to be doing day 2 casting. This was supposed to be today only. It does kind of suck because we lost half the day to running around to tech problems, but I don't know who's casting tomorrow's games, but it's not going to be us. So it'll be the main stage +1. Quick question for you, though, since we got Mr. Pro Opinion here. We got this big group of players, everyone making it to stage 3, yada, yada, yada. Of Hearthstone's group specifically, though, Hearthstone, Killzer, Namshar, Ziggy, which of the two you call getting out of the group?
I would say Brain will be like Killzer, Namshar.
I want to say that too. If it wasn't for this, like I really want to see Hearthstone win though. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. But this is gonna be tough. Like last time, I had a really tough time at the qualifier. But I know he's very good. Like he's one of these guys. He didn't make the qualifier, but he got a bit unlucky.
I don't want to count Ziggy out or anything. Maybe there'll be a surprise. But Ziggy's like really, I feel outclassed by these other guys, and I'm gonna just wish him the best of luck.
But yeah, maybe he can do something. Can you? Okay, you're a very experienced Twitter user. If I manually type the address, is that gonna work? Like, show the address of the stream again.
Oh yeah, you don't even need the www actually. You can just do twitch.tv/whatever stream you're linking to.
Okay. Well, this works.
Twitch.tv. Get some weird spells cast up in here.
Twitch?
No, because you didn't have the T for a second, so it's like witch.tv.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Drogo, like we said, guys, going to join us here as soon as we're good to go. I'm just constantly looking through the list to see the players. I might just run up to go find them too. Actually, hey Annie, could I ask a favor? I know Hearthstone's ready to go. Do you know where Namshar is?
Yeah, he's right there. He's playing.
Oh, is he playing something right now? Ah, okay, so that's probably what we're gonna wait on then. All right, cool. Thank you. By the way, guys, Annie, you want to come say hi real quick? Annie. Okay, she doesn't want to say hi. Oh, wait,
Laser is
now we have
actually a
attention.
fucking beast.
This is Annie, guys. Really cool guy. She's
Everyone.
you had like every StarCraft event this year. I swear to God. IEM, Home Story Cup, right? Like everything.
It's called passion, Graham. It's called passion.
You can't hear her, but she's calling me out on my lack of passion. Feels bad, man.
It's bad.
Get out of here. You're a jerk. This gross ass Zerg necklace. Ugh.
For the storm.
For the swarm, she says. All right. Annie, actually, for those who don't know, longtime friend, staying with her while we're here. And, man, did you get I guess, you were part of the open bracket, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't get a hotel from Blizzard? Or I
Nope.
don't know how they do it. Okay. I got stuck at an Airbnb that was, like, not where it was on the map. On the map, it says it's, like, 20 minutes away. But it's actually, like, 5 minutes away. And I saw this when I got into Montreal. I'm like, what the
So is that a good surprise, if I understand that correctly?
Like, good and bad? Because, like, I look at it on the map. I'm, like, ordering my Uber, and it says, like, 20 minutes away from the venue. And I'm like, no, we didn't book a place 20 minutes from the venue, did we? Like, I don't want to have to Uber in 20 minutes every day.
Well, sometime, if you have passion.
Yeah, I guess. So I guess Namshar is just finishing up a ladder game. Actually, that's another pro question I got for you here, because I don't know if you've been guilty of this or not, but I know that, you know, a lot of times, let's say it's the Corsair Cup, get to the semifinals, you have to wait. Like, and I know waiting totally sucks, right? What do you do with your downtime? Do you go to ladder games?
The
or-
main reason I don't play in any like online events is because I despise waiting.
So if
I
there was,
feel
like, if
like
there
it's
was no
such a waste
downtime.
of time until like the upper bracket things.
So if there was no downtime in tournaments, you would totally play in, like, all of them?
Well, I mean, maybe I would, but like I'm lazy and and the waiting. Oh my! I can't stand the waiting. Like the waiting into when if you lose your first match, especially, it's like you wait a lot, then you lose, and you're like, okay, I just wasted 3 hours. That's pretty much what happened. And I would rather play ladder in this
I'm
situation.
just gonna get a little bit intimate with you real quick and just move that because you're.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, we tried a format a little while ago where we tried to do a half replay, half live cast, where we started live, but we tried to let other players play it out, and then we cast the games from replays as they finished them, so they didn't have to wait, right?
But it's not even the cast that's the problem. It's just like some guy is gonna turtle on 2 base forever, and then you have to wait for that series with that guy to finish.
Oh, like when players draw them out and stuff. You, like,
Yeah, so
turtle
it's
mech
totally
games
not
and-
on like the caster end really. It's just like sometime. Games take forever.
Yeah, I've been for the years that we've been doing this trying to find best ways to like minimize downtime. I know like, you know, we're guilty because we do force people to wait semifinals and stuff. But I really wish there was ways you could do this that you didn't have to do that. Because I know that's been the chief complaint out of everybody. But okay, so my original question still stands. Let's say you're doing something. It's so important. It's WCS. You are playing it. You are waiting. What do you do when you're waiting? Is that something where you want to keep yourself occupied, so you go to a ladder game, or do you just tab out, go to your phone?
There's
like,
really nothing that mystical, like I'm gonna give a big tip as a pro player. Here's what you do when you wait before your game.
okay,
No,
but
you're
that's-
just like you're like this. You're on your phone and you're like, huh? That guy posted a bit on Twitter. Interesting. Oh, I have to play now. Let's go.
all right, that's fine. Like, see, I'm not, you know, I've never been in like a team house. I don't live with pros. I don't actually know what you guys do when you're like.
Oh,
waiting,
okay.
so-
There's one exception to this, and this freaks me out every time. But also, like, tells you the story about why you're so successful. Like when we have a tournament and everything, everybody has their own thing. Like we watch YouTube video, we play some chess. For me personally, but Nib, when Nib waits for an online cup, he sits like this, and he looks at the wall. And I'm like,
what?
what are you doing? I'm like, I'm waiting for my match. Why are you doing nothing? What else could I do except playing StarCraft? I'm like, fair point.
Here, but I was gonna move that real quick. That's crazy to me because, like, I guess on one hand that's like the perfect player for an organization to work with, right? Because he just waits patiently. On the other, that's some like horror movie shit. Like
Yeah.
you're waiting for him to
It
just
freaks
turn to
me
you and
out.
it's like eyes start bleeding.
But like, it's like that's why he's successful, you know, because when he doesn't play StarCraft, he doesn't really know what to do. So the only thing he does is play StarCraft. So then he's really good at the game, like, because he plays so much more than the others.
That is kind of a cool insight to Neve, though, really, because you know a lot of people do look and you're like, why is this one foreign player so much better than the rest? And it's like, well, I guess he's that dedicated. He's so dedicated that he would sit still and wait for a match. I don't know a single person in any other profession I can think of that would do that.
I mean, maybe some monk in the Tibetan mountains would be like patience, just waits for the entire day.
So they said Nameshar was playing over there, or is he on the other side?
I mean, yeah, like we're being very optimistic right now. We have to set up a new computer for the most part, so they're not gonna start like super soon.
Oh yeah, do you guys get moved each group stage?
Hmm?
Do you guys get shuffled around on each group stage?
Yeah, like I don't know if everybody has to do that, but a lot of people will have to do this for group stage 3.
Oh, I just assumed like it was one of those things where, okay, you're given computer 64 and you're just there for the whole day.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can do that, or sometimes you can't, because you can't really like place everybody and predict exactly what the score are gonna be. Sometimes there's gonna be conflict in the placement. You need to move.
Oh, I guess
people.
yeah, you don't want people sitting next to each other and stuff.
Yeah, like stuff like this.
So like trying to play next to me. All right, hey Nerchio, how's it going, dude?
Hello.
I'm playing.
Who you
Nice.
playing?
Later.
Who you playing?
New Thermal, I think. He's winning versus John Snow.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you don't need it, but good luck, dude.
Good luck.
So you were you in France? Actually, I haven't been keeping track with our Korea house. When did you leave the Korea house last?
Well, I mean, I think I left a little bit before one WCS. What was the last WCS before this one?
Austin, I think, right?
No,
Oh,
Valencia.
Valencia. You're
Yeah,
right.
I went to Korea before Austin, and I think I went to Korea before Valencia.
Do you have any plans to go back before the year's over, or?
Probably at the beginning of 2018, because there's like the first tournament is in March at the earliest, but probably gonna be in April. So like going there early in the year is probably the best thing to do.
Okay. So
But I don't know. We'll see.
well, actually, question on that. We're contemplating. Well, not contemplating. We're probably closing the Korean house after this year, just because it's been crazy to try and maintain. If that house is gone, do you still have plans to go, or would that only be like I only plan to go if there's like a
Wait,
like a
are you
training
closing
house?
the house?
Maybe it's up in the air. We're leaning towards yes, but it's not confirmed. And to be clear for everyone watching, the only reason for this is the original plan was only 1 year, and that's where we put the money into it. If we put money into it for another year, that's like another year where we have to wait to get $30,000 back to host other events with. So it's a maybe.
I would, because I would personally consider it very successful. I know a lot, like more and more pro wants to go here. It's almost always full, I think. Not sure. Maybe
It's
I'm wrong
been-
on that.
Yeah, it's been pretty full for
But-
most of the part. Yeah.
But yeah, like if there's not the house, I'm not going to Korea. Like it's just be simple. Maybe I would go to the Leifeng house, but I'm not sure.
See, by the way, I'm asking you questions like this because this is a clip. Then I take to Blizzard, and I'm like, "Hey guys, if you help us out, like we can
No,
keep
like-
this thing running."
Like a lot of pro are very interested into the Korean house for sure. And yeah, I don't think I would go like. That would be very try hard, maybe. I mean, I've gone to a gaming house that was purely Korean before. I went to the MVP house, and it's okay. It's okay. But it's a bit. I don't think I could have stayed there more than just 1 month. And I had
Was
Austin.
it just
that
the
was
language too much of a thing, or?
not really, and I was really lucky because I think Gumiho and Sid were both pretty good at English. Like I could communicate things, but if they were not here, I would have struggled really hard. I think to do anything.
Plus, I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, I know there wasn't a lot of it, but like, my personal favorite part of the house actually was some of the IRL streaming stuff. Right, when you guys would just go to the market and Jake would like film everybody and stuff, like on the train.
Yeah, maybe it was not really my favorite part, but
Well, I'm not expecting it for you. Yours has got to be like practicing playing and all that.
yeah.
But for me, like the average fan / consumer, not like the guy behind the house or anything, it's cool getting like that behind the scenes look at you guys when you're doing stuff. Because I think this was definitely my case before I even got into casting. I didn't really think about any of the players behind them being players, right? I didn't think like, oh, does Drogo like actually get dressed up and go out to the clubs, or does he like get groceries? Like, I don't think about that shit. So it's kind of cool getting to see like that little bit of a, I don't know, behind the scenes look at things.
I guess. Like for me right now, I've developed this perspective, and it's to some people it's gonna be sad, but I feel like when you're a player, I don't know if I would be into esports if I was not a player. I mean, maybe in some years I will know, you know.
No, you know what? It's weird. I've actually had conversations similar to this because since I started casting, I'm a lot less interested in other tournaments. Like, I don't really watch a lot of IEMs until it gets to the finals. It's not like something I'm super passionate about like I was beforehand. And I think I can see that as a player too, right? Like, you don't know whether you watch the same game that you would play.
But I mean, like I have this opinion because it's my job, you know. So like I'm not really gonna do this for relaxation. I don't see it as like a big way to relax, I guess. But I mean, like maybe one day if I retire, it's not anytime soon for the people that are fan of me currently.
Oh,
the,
you're not
the
getting
the
ready
three
for
of you
Overwatch?
can relax. But maybe in 1 year I will get back to you on that. Like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not a pro anymore, and I really enjoy, watching esports.
You know, I was
We'll
going to say,
see.
side note, by the way, I can think of way more than 3 people who are your fans. Don't sell yourself too short, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Actually, I guess I didn't think about that, but that's probably something we have a better perspective on. Like, unless you're like super famous guy who's winning and always on the main stage, it's probably easy. I don't know how hard it is to keep perspective on your fan base. For us, it's easy because like anytime we cast Drogo or someone else, or like ex-player, chat goes nuts when they're like really happy to see their favorite player, and you'll see like hundreds of people typing opposed to 10 or 15 or whatever. So do you guys ever, I guess, do you have a hard time keeping track of your fan base? Like, do you have a good idea? Like, I got about 300 fans or whatever.
I
the
don't know.
number
Like,
is.
I think it's much easier if you're a streamer. Like, if you're a streamer, you always see the guys. Like, there's a couple of guys that tune to my stream every 2 weeks when I stream. but I mean, yeah, like, that's the thing though. Like, I mainly play StarCraft for like, for the competitive thing. It's kind of because that's what I do. If I was more focused on my fans and everything, I feel like I would be more of a streamer. How to say it? Like, when you are a pro gamer, you're not gonna be like necessarily gonna be like a people's man. If that's like a nice way of saying it.
No, that's very accurate. Like, you're concentrated on the game, and people like you because you're
Like, I'm
concentrated on the game.
I'm really thankful for the fan, but I don't pay like super high attention to them.
It's fair enough.
Maybe I should, honestly. Like, I don't really know.
I kind of look at that as like, it's like do you know the term Renaissance man?
Not really.
So it's like an English phrase to describe basically somebody he can do it all. He can act. He can do everything,
All right.
right? And I feel like there's not really any Renaissance man players out there. It's hard because you are so focused on practicing and playing. You don't get to run your own fan page, and you don't get to like constantly tweet at people and all these little tiny things that make it up.
Yeah, but like, because I feel like if you really focus on this and like you try to be a big man and do everything, the moment you have a bad result, there's no way you don't blame like all of the shit you did outside the game. You don't blame that because you lost. So like, if you lose a lot of time like outside the game, then you don't perform in the game. For me personally, it's been very hard to like justify to keep doing that. But I mean, I'm not gonna pretend I'm like Nemo that I just play 24/7. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that. But
So, just while we're waiting, guys, because for those who don't know what's going on, we're waiting on Namshar to get online. He's still getting set up. We're actually in the lobby with Hearthstone. They've done their vetoes, I guess, like in person. I was looking it up in Aligulac, and what's interesting is I made that comment about Namshar and Hearthstone, but it appears in all the other things like Ladder Heroes and like the smaller stuff. Hearthstone's actually killing Namshar, but the last few times I've seen them in person at DreamHack, it's been Namshar knocking out Hearthstone. So I'm starting to wonder if it's just like simply the live element to it is starting to maybe have some sort of favor.
I don't know. Like, even if I've been a pro for a long time, the live factor is always kind of a mystery. Sometimes you're gonna play really different, and you don't really know why.
Well, I mean, you had that one DreamHack. I mean, you've got at least some live like mojo going for you, right?
Yeah.
Or is it so long ago that you're just like, eh?
No, it's not so long ago. I really remember it, but yeah, like it's a lot of things to take into account, and I don't know what's the best way.
You know, I think nobody really does, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
If someone had all the answers, we'd see a lot more pros.
Because sometimes there's people like they're so much better that even though they have like a bad mindset or everything, they still win. Sometimes
I can think of a lot of players that were like that, especially back in the day. But yeah, guys, I'm so sorry for the delay. Again, we're just waiting on Amsterdam. I keep checking back. When you see me like start getting too close to the screen, it's just because I'm just looking in to see what's really going on here. By the way, how do you like this amazingly professional setup I've got going? Isn't it just great?
Right here?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, it looks great. My only point of reference is gaming, I guess.
How do they do it?
Well, they have like an entire crew in the production.
Ah, yeah, I've got these guys. Yeah, there's actually, here, I'll show you guys because you probably haven't got to see. They set me up with this laptop. It's not exactly a great laptop, but you know, screw it. My mouse pad is a cardboard box, 10 out of 10. And then just wires everywhere. And that's that brand new sound card we had to buy. Like, you're not going to see a cleaner sound card. That is brand new. I asked them on their return policy. I'm like, can I return this at the end of the day? And they're like, what are you using it for? And I explained it, and they're like, no. I'm like, I should have just said, well, just in case it doesn't work. I don't know.
You don't hear this. You're reminding me of the guy at the airport. Like, you know, when you go to the airport security, usually, like, I'm very honest. I say, yeah,
I'm
gonna,
for work or
I'm gonna,
pleasure?
no, like, I should say, I'm gonna play like a video game tournament. And since then, like, since the beginning, we were like, oh, okay, cool. End of story. And this guy at the airport security was like, what tournaments? DreamHack. How do you write this? D-E-R. Okay. Can I see your inscription? No. Oh.
Oh.
Are you really in this tournament then? What game is it? StarCraft. I don't know that game. Well, yeah, like that. I don't know what this guy wanted, but he has get a lot of questions.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those too. I was actually I was detained one time actually.
Oh.
Because I didn't. So this is like 4 years ago. I've signed my first NDA ever, right? So I don't know what I can
Oh
tell
yeah,
people.
I've read about this.
Yeah.
And
I-
they were like, "What are you going here?" And you were like, "It's a secret. I can say."
Okay,
What?
in fairness, what I said was, I don't know if I can tell you. Because I didn't. But yeah, it's the same stupid thing to say. So they're like, immediately, red fucking flag. Like, let's pull you over to room.
Yeah, it's like.
But here's the worst part. Some of you guys don't know, there's a person who used to be one of the big community managers of StarCraft 2. Her name was Zoevia, but her real name was Kiki. And Kiki is not exactly a common name in North America, for those who don't know. So they're like, who can we confirm this with? I'm like, Kiki. They're like, Kiki? Because it's like a dog name. It's not like a person name. So I'm like, I'm so screwed. Luckily, it did get resolved way later, but yeah, I hate when I get too many questions. Because I'm good with the simple ones. It's like, work or pleasure? Pleasure, be on your way. But the second they're like, well, where are you going? What's the address? How many exact hours are you staying there? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm there. I'm back on Monday.
But like, this is funny because you know, with esports, like I've traveled a bunch by train, by flight, by everything, and especially in my earlier days when I was in the gaming house at My Insanity, and I had a I didn't really care about how I looked, and I had a massive beard, like a pretty big, you know, terrorist beard, and I could there's a direct correlation between the number of times you get stopped at a train station or airports on the length of your beard. It's actually it's straightforward.
That was
When
not
it's
where I
this
thought
much,
that
it's
story was going.
100%. When it gets closer, it's like it gets down like 50 or 40.
That was not where I thought that story was going at all. By the way, I almost spit my water.
Like one guy, one time, with black guy, was like, okay, I don't like your face. I'm gonna search everything on you to see if you have drugs. And that guy, he searched my bag, you know, he took everything from my bag.
Oh my god! I
And he
hate
put
when they
it
do
on the
that.
floor. With this, he was searching literally every pocket, even the
Just
secret one in
turns
the
it
middle.
inside out, like.
And after he searched everything, and it took 20 minutes. And I was like, all right, well,
Yo, look at this guy stealing his backpack.
yeah, it's up.
Got
Yeah,
some
pretty
tempo
good.
action.
Yeah, just yeah, good to see you too. Just
Tempo.
doing some casting. The career transition is really fast right now.
You know what's fucked up? I see Tempo here, right? Within 5 minutes, we're getting drugs together. I'm not even kidding. We got drugs in 5 minutes of seeing each other. Got some Tylenol. Got that headache. Well, we're still waiting, actually. You lucked out by letting him take your spot. Namshar is just taking forever to get ready, so we're just waiting on him. Well, we're just waiting on him, so hopefully he'll be done soon. Have you ever got screwed on visas, actually, since we're talking about travel
No.
and stuff?
Like French visa is the French passport is pretty safe. The only noteworthy thing I can say is that when you have to go to China, there's two sides. There's France and there's NA. This is NA. I went to the Chinese embassy and they gave me this passport. It's working for 10 fucking years and it cost me about $25. And I'm here and I'm like, I paid €300 for this one-time entry.
What? Really? That's fucking nuts. I've never been to China. I mean, I know you needed a visa. I didn't realize that was that crazy.
Americans can get a passport for years and French can't. And so I'm thinking, Trump is complaining about the worst deal ever, but I'm sorry, if you're American and you want to go to China, you have a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
If you're French, it's not a sweet deal. I don't know why they hate us so much.
That's kind of nuts, actually. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to China right now anyways. Apparently it's super gross. Everyone's saying Shanghai was horribly warm and stuff, and
I mean, I've had some really good experience with China and some really bad one. It's all about the people. But the really good one were actually insanely good. Some of the best tournament I've been to.
That's good to hear. I really he's setting up hotkeys. How long does it take to set up hotkeys?
Well, if you're Okay, I don't have a better word. If you're dumb about it, you do it manually and it takes forever. And if you're kind of smart about it, you have it saved up somewhere and you just copy paste it and then you're done. I say that because you know it happened to me once when I was at IM Shanghai, that horrible tournament, one of them that was horrible in China.
I know, you just finished telling us how good they are.
And everybody was waiting for me in my match versus Massa. It's because I was trying to put that the rapid fire for the warp-in manually. And I didn't realize that you needed to put the letters in caps lock and not in like lowercase.
Oh, there's actually a difference.
Yeah, no, like if it's lowercase, it's not gonna work. So I was typing it in lowercase, and it will not work. And like you know, if you don't have rapid fire for like the warp in, and you have to click for each warp in, you don't really do that anymore. So I got really screwed. And yeah, I played the rest of the match without rapid fire, and I lost. And if only I had saved up everything, it would have taken 1 second.
So yeah, I don't actually know. Can you guys just like put your profile on like a USB stick or something? Or?
I don't use USB stick because I lose them all the time. But just on Google Drive, you save them on Google Drive and.
Oh yeah, just like I guess that'd probably be a lot easier too. You just download it wherever you go.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Well, dudes, what I'm probably gonna do here is I'm really hoping it's not gonna take too much longer. But to save Drogo from talking too much and for getting bored before the game even gets going, we're just gonna put the break screen for a minute or two, and we'll be back in basically whenever they're good to go. I'm just gonna go sit behind and watch and wait. So thanks for joining us. When we get back, it's Hearthstone versus Namshar. It's PvZ, and it's best of threes still, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna go double check with the admin. I'm pretty sure it's just still best of threes though. So yeah, we'll see you guys in a bit.